So hello everyone, I'm here joined by Asaf Naheem and Michael Pro. They are the brains behind a very, very important platform called Kirobo. I hope I got the spelling of Kirobo right, guys. You guys can hear me? Yeah, did I get the spelling of Kirobo right?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So basically, Kirobo is a decentralized application that is focused on making DeFi a better and safer place for basically DeFi participants, right? So let me kick it off with this. Can Asaf please just introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself, and Michael can do that afterwards.
Hi, first of all, nice to meet you and thank you for having me. I'm Asaf Naeem, the CEO of Kirobo. In my background, I'm an accountant, have a master's degree in taxation, and I taught myself how to program. This is how I came into crypto. A friend asked me to run the tax division in his law firm. So this is how I introduced to the world, so to speak, and fall in love with the idea, and here we are.
Awesome. So Michael, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm an attorney by trade. You have an accountant and an attorney, but no one's perfect. I've been in the crypto and fintech space for the last 10 years or so. I've been involved mostly from the media perspective of things. I've been working with plenty of projects in the fintech and the crypto space. And I've been in Kirobo for the last 10 months.
So you being in Kirobo, I'm guessing your experience has been very, very good with Kirobo, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
It's the most interesting and most innovative company I've ever worked in.
Wow, that's a tall order. So, I'm really happy that we're having this conversation today because earlier I reported the hack on Wormhole, the cross-bridge platform for Solana and Ethereum. I think about 318 million as at Ethereum's current market price was stolen away from the platform. And this is why I'm really happy that we're having the conversation today, right? Because basically the whole business idea behind Kirobo is to make DeFi a safer place, right? So the first thing I would like to point out some facts to you guys. So even going beyond Kirobo, going beyond, going beyond
Crypto, I guess.
Wormhole, Wormhole, the company that got hacked, right? Last week, there was another hack for about 98 million, just on the 28th. Chain Analytics literally released a report recently saying that about 14 billion US dollars was stolen in 2021 due to scammers in the cryptocurrency space. And aside from that, we have data from the block saying that 610 million, if I'm not wrong, was stolen from DeFi platforms in 2021 also. So I want to ask you guys, why is this happening?
It's happening because we are in the beginning of everything. Like what you see right now, it's only the beginning of the future. And if we talked about bridges, so bridges, this is the weakest link currently. The technology is difficult, poor, so to speak. And what we are building could be in the future. I can commit on a date, but could be something that help facilitate better bridges. But I think that the main issue in crypto is not hack. There is a scam, obviously a lot of scams. Hack is to protocols and to exchanges, CeFi and stuff like that. But the main problem in my perspective is the human error. A lot of people make mistakes, send money to their own address, lose access to the wallet, or God forbid, died. And a lot of money is basically stuck out there in the blockchain, or and this is the main issue that prevent us to have more people or adopt, or the blockchain be adopted by other the masses, so to speak. And this is exactly what we are actually aim to solve.
Awesome. Michael, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I think that I agree with Asaf that we're at the beginning, and I think that DeFi is definitely not there yet. One of the things that's actually the reason for Kirobo, right? The reason is to make DeFi a better space in terms of, as you said, safety and security, but also in terms of having more abilities to do more things. So DeFi is amazing. It's overwhelming how you can do so many things, but it's very limited in terms of the safety net that it provides, which is basically nothing, right? And it's very limited in terms of the capabilities. And when we'll dive in to talk about our products, we'll elaborate how we aim to solve that. I think that most of the problems that you've mentioned and others can be solved, and we can tackle them.
All right, awesome. Thank you for that take. So speaking a little bit closer to DeFi, you could literally connect your wallet to any decentralized finance application, and you can basically do whatever you want without any KYC done, or basically any form of checks and balances, right? So that's why a lot of these hackers use DeFi protocols to able to like launder funds from one place to another and then move it to their personal accounts, right? So are you worried of the state of regulation? Because definitely regulators are not going to be happy about this, especially because of the KYC compliance of DeFi is literally non-existent, right? So do you guys think that there's going to be a serious overhaul in the DeFi space when it comes in terms of regulation, of course?
I think the regulation is light years is behind the technology. And today you see a lot of projects that you don't even see who is behind the project. There is no face; it's project. And by the way, there are no small projects. There are big projects that a lot of money is stuck or locked inside the project, and that means that the regulation cannot interfere. What they can do is they can come to someone that, for example, to Uniswap, they can come to Uniswap. There is a face behind it. There is a company. They sit in Brooklyn. Obviously, people can reach them. But if you are talking about DeFi, really DeFi, decentralized application that no one knows who is like starting this project, I think that the regulation is way back.
All right, thank you so much for that. So let's move on to Kirobo, right? So what is Kirobo doing to make DeFi a safer place? Because that's a tall order. I mean, if you're going to go about saying you're trying to make DeFi a safer place, then you guys must be doing something different, right? So tell me a little bit more about that.
First of all, everyone knows about the undo button that we invented. So for example, if you send money to the wrong address, there is no customer support, right? You lost the money. And we invented the undo button, but this is old news. This is like 1 year ago, so far $1.7 billion go through the system, and the number are continue growing. But let's speak about the real issue. Today, people shift from CeFi to DeFi. And and when they're doing that, they hold the entire money in their hand. And money, it's not only money, right? It's like NFT, metaverse, a lot of things. Your identity basically is in your hand. What happens if you lose access to the wallet? Like, try to remember how many times you restore your bank account password. And this is what will happen in the next. It's happening right now. We know that. And it will happen in the next 2, 3, 5 years. People will hold a lot of money in their hand. The value of the asset will increase, but still suddenly they lose access to the asset. So we build an infrastructure that allow you to create a decentralized backup. So even if you lose your wallet, you will not lose access to your assets. And this is decentralized, completely controlled by the owner, the specific owner that actually run the product. So this is the basic of this. But this is only the basic. What I described in the beginning, the shift from CeFi to DeFi. So there is a lot of advantage on CeFi. You can do limit orders. You can do a lot of things in CeFi that you cannot do today on DeFi. The problem with CeFi that you lose control on your money. So basically, we are here really excited about the blockchain and decentralization and everything. And basically, we go back to the model of the bank. CeFi is basically a bank. You put the money in the bank. And a lot of people jam, for example, they don't allow you to take up your money. They report to the authority. I'm not sure if it's good or bad. I'm just mentioned that. So CeFi is the old system, and the blockchain basically adopt the old system. So now DeFi is the new system, but DeFi is very limited. You cannot make a transaction that say that if Ether price will go below 4,000, then sell everything or buy everything or swap this, or if arbitrage is this, then this. You can do it with server if you are a very good programmer, but again, you have to jeopardize your private key on the server. There is a lot of problems, and this stuff cannot be operate on the DeFi platform. And this is exactly what we're bringing. We bring a lot of things that cannot be done on DeFi today. Future transaction or transaction that is limited by or defined by specific rules, and this is what you can do with the platform.
All right, awesome. So, a lot of people would say that the reason why DeFi is thriving is because of the automated market maker function that basically is the whole genesis of DeFi, what prompted the creation of Uniswap, SushiSwaps, and all of DeFi that we see today, right? So would you say that if centralized exchanges, for instance, starts to adopt more of the same technology driving, abandoning the order book system and putting in the automated market maker into their systems, would you say that the traction for DeFi will go down?
No. If you examine the company or the coin that are actually, for example, on Binance, when they accept coin into the platform, they want to see a specific thing, and there is a list, and you need to pay a lot of money in order to do that. So when you look on coins that are on CeFi, you understand that they already reached certain point. If you are searching for the next coin that will do 10,000, 20,000 X, it's out there on DeFi. It's not on CeFi.
Awesome, thank you for that. So let's go on to speak about your partnership with Evai. And this
Evai
partnership is kind of unique to me because Evai is kind of like a rating system, or a rating platform, kind of like the blockchain version of the traditional finance rating system. And I'm wondering, how does this partnership help to make DeFi a safer place? And also, I know you guys are trying to do something with your liquid vault. So how does Evai come into the play to help your liquid vaults better for your users?
Sure. So just before I dive into your question, just a few words about the Liquid Vault. The Liquid Vault is an on-chain wallet that eventually our end game is to make it a one-stop shop for DeFi. As Asaf mentioned, you will have the whole safety net needed to manage your money in the safest manner and to do it with confidence. But beyond that, you will have a lot of features that will allow you to trade, to swap, to stake, to do whatever you want with DeFi and by the way, with the metaverse as well, and we can dive into that. And you will enjoy all this range of possibilities, and we're working diligently to add more and more possibilities. Now, along those lines, we have partnered with two leading DeFi companies. One is Purify, that essentially will provide AML support to the vault. And essentially, you will be able to understand who you're interacting with. If there's a wallet that can jeopardize your vault, you will know that upfront, and your vault will not be jeopardized, because we want it to be a safe place for you, and we want the vault to be, to endure for a very, very long time and to provide you the best service. Along those lines, we partnered with Evai. So Evai is an amazing company, which is basically assessing the health of tokens. Okay, they have a long list of parameters, for instance, liquidity, the project itself, the technology behind the project, the website, and so on and so forth. And they're basically assessing the health of the token, and it's dynamic, it's changing. So you can know that, if you have a token that is rated very highly, and then something happened, whether it's a scam or rug pull or whatever, they immediately, notify you about that. So we want to bring those capabilities into the vault. Now, one of the things that you see when you connect to the vault, when you create a vault, you immediately see all your assets that you have on, let's say, your MetaMask. And you see it in a very beautiful way. You even see coins that you didn't know that you have, because MetaMask doesn't show you everything. And what we want to do is eventually to have an icon, a logo that is going to tell you, the coins that you have, which ones are, assessed to be healthy, quote unquote, which ones are maybe, it's not such a good idea to hold them, maybe you should dump them. Again, the decision is yours, but we want to give you more tools to decide. And that's what you're expected to see in the next partnerships as well. We want to bring more knowledge, more abilities to the Vault users.
All right, thank you for that. When I was reading about the Vault, there was something about an inbuilt analytics. How does that work? And also, what kind of information do your users, what kind of information would they expect on this inbuilt analytics?
What analytics, sorry?
The inbuilt analytics that your liquidity vault has. I think with the partnership with Evai, they're going to be providing inbuilt analytics. So I was asking what would that analytics do for your customers, and what kind of information would they expect from that analytics?
Sure. So as I mentioned earlier, they will be able to understand what tokens they're holding, and by the way, what tokens they expect to receive. Right? Because if you want to swap with someone, or if someone is sending you tokens for some service that you have done for them, you will see if the token that they're sending is worthwhile, or maybe you should ask them to send you another token. Maybe in the future, and again, I cannot commit to that, but we also want to see some sort of a notification system that will tell you if some of your tokens in your portfolio is not performing well, and you will be able to get this in real time. And Evai has many other capabilities where now our dev teams are working with their dev teams to see, how can we expand that, because they have a lot of possibilities based on AI and machine learning. And we want to have all those capabilities delivered to our users. But the thing that I mentioned about the token is already something that is going to happen. Beyond that, we're looking to, to expand that even more, and to work with other companies as well. There are a lot of good companies providing you more knowledge, more analytics, and that's what we want to do.
Thank you for that. So, going back to Kirobo, you guys have a lot of functions. So I've seen the undo button, the inheritance feature, the dark connect, the safe transfer, but I'm really particular about the undo button and inheritance feature. Can you please tell us a little bit about that, those two features?
Yeah, the undo button is working in a very simple concept. The idea is that you create transaction, it's unique transaction with a passcode, and then you send the money to the recipient, but you don't share the passcode. Once he connects to the system, he can see the transaction, and Once he confirmed to you that he sees the transaction, then you release the passcode. And then basically he can take the money. If he doesn't see the transaction, then you can, as long as he didn't type the passcode, you can take the money back. You can retrieve the money. This is the idea.
All right. So what about the inheritance feature?
Yeah. So the inheritance is I don't want to reveal everything, but I will reveal the concept, because once we reveal, obviously people can use that. The concept is that you can assign a different wallet that will have proportion of your asset. So for example, if you have Ether, you can say 10% of this Ether go to this address, 15% to that address, and the rest is to that address. And you set it to a future transaction. So you sign the transaction right now, but this transaction can execute in 5 years. And if everything is okay, you can reset that. You can even send your entire portfolio to your Binance account, for example. So it's very intuitive. And the idea is that it's not according to the amount, it's the according of the percentage. So for example, if someone set up inheritance when he has only $1,000 and he set 10% to specific address, and on the trigger time there is $1 million, so this address will receive 100,000. So it's percentage, not amount. So you can do whatever you want on the asset in the meantime. It's not stuck, it's not locked. This is why we actually call that liquid vault. It's liquid. You can do whatever.
All right, thank you.
I just want to add one thing to the inheritance issue. By the way, it's something that goes to inheritance and backup and everything else. One of the coolest things about the liquid vault is the fact that we have NFT support. So obviously, none of us want to lose our tokens, but imagine losing an NFT that you bought for, I don't know, $1 million or more than that, or a set of, a series that you are collecting and so on. We're now going into the metaverse, and we need to start thinking about, the assets that we're buying on metaverse, that soon, it will be houses and many other assets that will serve us in the metaverse. We need to think how we keep them safe and how we pass them to the next generation. And that's one of the coolest things that the Vault is allowing, and we actually are going to release it in the course of the next week. We're going to support NFTs and other types of digital assets, digital, non-fungible assets, and you will be able to inherit NFTs as well, and to back them up, obviously.
If I can add more insight.
Sure, go ahead. The stage is yours, really.
If you look on let's say companies, VCs, banks, or huge entities, each one of them, if they are a participant in the blockchain space, they don't have this problem. They have custodian, they don't care. They sign contract, they know they don't care about decentralization. So they have custodian, they work with the custodian, and everything is fine. But if you are a user, there is not such a guarantee. There is a lot of mistakes that you can do. People can scam you, people can lose access to the money. And this is not happening to the big company. And the only way to solve this today is by giving up your ownership, by putting it inside CeFi. But with what we are bringing to the blockchain, the sky is the limit.
Awesome. So a question for you, a little bit tricky. So, a lot of people have been contending on whether or not an organization should have so much access in terms of whether or not a decentralized application is actually truly decentralized, right? So looking at, especially with your undo button function, whereby an individual would be able to send tokens with a password, and once the person receives it and sends the password to the person in order to claim the tokens, right? doesn't that more or less defeat the concept of cryptocurrencies in general, being the fact that cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology is offering for borderless, permissionless, and trustless transactions?
I think that the problem with the transaction is not if it's like irrevocable or something like that, because we are not changing that. It's the same. Like once you put the passcode, so that's it. The problem is that if you transfer a lot of money, you understand that you are anxious. Like you wake up, you have to be focused. It's not like I don't know, open your email or send an email. If you made a mistake, you can lose the entire money. And I think that the feeling of that is horrible. And actually, before our system, every time that I send a lot of money, I send 2 transactions. I send $1 in order to check. And when the other party actually told me that he see the transaction, and by the way, most of the transactions are between people that actually knows each other, right? Otherwise, he will never send it. So once he confirm, I send the big amount. And and I don't know if you read that, but there is if you spoke about malicious software, stuff like that, there is malicious software that if you copy paste, she will change the address when you copy paste. So if you use our system, it will not help him. You understand? Because let's say that I'm communicating with you and someone listen to the communication and actually change the address. So I will send the money. I will wait for you to see the money and only then share the passcode. And if he changed the address, it will not help him, you understand? Because you will not see the money. So I think this is the way to go. And I think this is the future.
Awesome. Thank you for that. So I'm going to my last question. I usually ask everybody that I interview this, what are your top 5 cryptocurrencies? I want Asaf to say his. I want Michael to say his.
Kiro, and Kiro.
Okay. Michael, what about you?
Oh my God. I want to be unbiased, so I'm going to say Kiro, and Kiro. But seriously, I really don't want to go into that. We will respect other projects, and we respect the native tokens of the layer 1 and layer 2. Okay. So we'll just leave it there.
I will jump. I believe in Ether. I think the ecosystem is amazing. I think that in a year or two, the gas price problem will resolve, and then Ether will be the dominant coin.
All right, guys. So thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate you guys talking to us over here in Nigeria, and it's been an awesome conversation. Really, I think I've gotten a lot of insights, and I do believe your platform actually does make sense. I think there's so many human errors that we've witnessed in the cryptocurrency space. I think the case of the guy that misplaced his password for his Bitcoin is one of those examples as to why you're able to be able to do like a change of password or a password recovery, in which you guys are actually providing the avenues to do that. So thank you so much for coming on, and have a wonderful day, really.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome.
Thank you, Ajibola.